Alright guys, so this is my mental rotation test here. All we're doing is responding using the left or right keys to determine whether the image is normal or reversed. So all I did was just use recognizable logos that everybody knows, and all we're doing is looking for whether the image is flipped or not. They could be oriented different or rotated, just to add a little bit more of a challenge, but for now we're just looking for whether the image is flipped or not. Guys, it's just my Excel sheet here. It's got image, orientation, and core ands just at the top. And then down images are all the different names of the logos that I used. Here in orientation is just the degrees that the image should be rotated, and then core ands is just whether it's reversed or a regular image. So left would be normal, and right would just be the reversed image. So now that we kind of have our Excel sheet together, we're just going to keep it on a back burner. We are going to use that later during the trial, but for now we're going to create our greeting screen. We're going to throw that before the trial. It's going to have our instructions and stuff on it. So first what we're going to do is create a text here. For the name, I'm just going to call it greeting 1. Not going to have a time duration because can't rush people while they're reading. This is going to say mental rotation here at the top, and then give the instructions. So we're going to say press left if logo, I use logos in mine, so we're just going to say logo here. If logo is normal, and press right if logo is reversed. That is not how you spell reversed. Reversed. Cool. And then press any key to continue. And then along with press any key to continue, we now have to set up a keyboard component. So we're just going to go over here and get rid of everything in allowed keys because it is any key. That I'm not going to rename because that's not important. And then just make sure that the duration is empty so that they could just start when they're ready. I'm going to click OK. So now that our greeting is done, we can come over here to trial. What we're going to do in trial is create a fixation first. This is just like a little minor, like X or plus or something. It could be a 0 or a circle between the images shown. So we're just going to use a little X. It'll be fine. And we're only going to have it last for about a half a second, so I put a 0.5 here. That's good. We're going to do this little image box here. I'm going to change image to logos. The start time is going to be at about a second because we don't want it to start too soon after the plus, and then it's going to last for about 5 seconds. In image, we're going to do $image so that it corresponds with the image column on our Excel sheet. Here in orientation, we're going to do $orientation. And then when we set these, we're going to do set to repeat on both image and orientation. Super. Now we're still in trial. We're going to set up our keyboard component so that people can respond. Response. I'm actually not going to play with this. I've seen people mess with this before, and I kind of don't want to limit how fast somebody can respond. We're also not going to set up how slow somebody can respond. So we're not going to do like a duration or anything. What we're going to do is go down here and make sure they can only use left or right. We're going to store the correct answer. correct answer is going to be $ core ands, which corresponds with the correct answer on our Excel sheet, either left or right. The next thing we have to do is insert a loop. That's going to go around the trial. Yeah, we're going to leave that to say trials. This is how many reps we're going to do. So we're going to start off with like 1 or 2. Then we're going to browse for our Excel file that we created, which is going to be in my video file, mental rotation. Just click OK here. And the last thing we're going to do is insert a routine at the end, which is going to be just ending. Ending is fine. We're going to throw that at the end. This is where you're just kind of thanking the person for participating. Thank you. So this is also going to have no duration, because what we're going to write here is thank you for participating. Press any key to exit. So anytime you want somebody to press any key to do anything, you're just not going to set up any specific keys. Now the last thing I wanted to show you guys was just some data that shows up. The data shows up in the same file as whatever file you stored your mental rotation test in. So right here in the front, column A, we have the image. This is just, whichever image showed up. That's just the orientation or the angle that the image was tilted at to give more of a challenge to the activity. This right here is whatever the correct answer was. So like we talked about before, the correct answer is right if the image was inverted, and the correct answer was left if the image was normal. Now if we come over here, we see whether the fixation, or when the fixation started and stopped. So you can see that's exactly a half a second apart, or give or take a couple decimals, but it is about a half a second when the fixation started and stopped. This is when the stimulus started, so this is whenever the image popped up. And then when the stimulus stopped, that's none, because remember we did put that there was no duration on when you could respond. We gave infinite time to respond. Now if we go over here, this was whatever our response was, or my response, because I did the fake trial. This is the correct answer, so it gave a 1 here if you got the image correct, or you got the answer correct, and then just a 0 if you got it wrong. So it looks like I did pretty good. So here we have it, guys. This is our finished product of our mental rotation test. You could see I went back and I changed some of the text, because honestly I think the default white text is pretty harsh up against the gray. I think it's a little harder to read than necessary, but overall this is what our finished product should look like. I hope this video was useful, and thanks for watching.